Today, these two teams, Ironton from Ironton, Ohio, and Green from Franklin Furnace, Ohio, compete on today's High-Q, presented by King's Daughters Medical Center. From the studios of Cool Hits 105.7 in conjunction with MyTown TV, here's the host of High-Q, Ernie Anderson.
Thank you, MJ McKay, and thank you. You met our teams and you saw them last time out as we're doing best 2 out of 3 on our junior high / middle school teams. And last time it was Green defeating Ironton 150-95. How will today's game go? Well, let's get it started with a warm-up round, and it's a visual spelling question for you, Ironton. This is one of the smallest breeds of dog and is named after a Mexican state. Spell that little bitty doggy. Ain't he cute? I had one of those one time when I was a teenager.
Is that our question?
That's your question, yes.
CHIHUAHU. Is that an E? A.
That's right. And nice job on that.
Your handwriting is fancy.
And you pick up 10. Now I have Green for you. Spelling. Also known as the wiener dog, badger dog, sausage dog, is a short-legged, long-bodied, hound-type dog breed. Spell it.
DASCHUND.
No, that's incorrect. So, Kylie, can your team spell that doggy?
DACHSUND.
Well, you're very close. You left an H out. It's DACHSHUND. Dachshund. All right, back to you, Green, for a movies question. In what movie would you have heard this line? A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. What movie?
The Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. All right, a movies question now for you. In what movie would you have heard this line? You had me at hello. And show me the money.
The Godfather?
No. Uriah?
Taken.
It's Jerry Maguire. A politics question. I need 2 answers from you, Kylie. In 2016, Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump named Mike Pence as his running mate. What position did Pence hold and from what state at the time?
Governor of Indiana.
Is correct. Nice job. Another 10 for you. All right, now your politics question for you, Green. Another 2 answers needed. In what year did what president sign the Civil Rights Act, which outlawed racial segregation and prohibited employment discrimination? All right, Uriah?
John F. Kennedy in 1964.
No? Ironton? Kylie?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
No, you had the year right. 64. It was Lyndon Johnson was the president. All right, a music terms question for you, Green. From the Italian word for tail, T-A-I-L, what word means a passage added to the end of a piece of music? If you're in the band or in chorus, you might know this one. Folks playing along at home, screaming at your screens. Uriah?
We don't know.
All right. Kylie? The answer is coda. All right. Music terms question for you, Kylie and team. From the Italian, what designates a piece of music to be played by one or more solo instruments and an orchestra, usually in 3 movements? Kylie? Answer? All right, I have to call time. Green?
Symphony.
It's a concerto. And that ends our warm-up round. We'll be back to talk to our team captains and get into the bonus round when we return to High Q.
We take pride in our schools. And at King's Daughters, we take pride in being part of the team. With student-athlete care from the sidelines to our comprehensive orthopedics program. With walk-in hours in Ashland and Portsmouth that make seeing a provider easier than ever. Our team is delivering faster diagnosis and treatment, getting our student-athletes back in the game and back to what they do best. Orthopedics at King's Daughters.
Hot summer days call for a refreshing stop at Clark's Pub and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
At Dutch Miller Auto, the time is now to get into the vehicle you want. Dutch Miller currently has the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles with an amazing inventory starting below $300 a month. Have a trade-in? There's never been a better time to get more than right now, as Dutch Miller is giving up to 30% above fair market value for any trade-in. Don't see the vehicle on our lot you want? Then ask about the Dutch Miller Advantage, which means you can order the vehicle you want, the way you want it, faster. Only at DutchMillerAuto.com.
All right, after a round of play that saw scant scoring, that's all right. Ironton 20 and Green 10. Some tough questions for our young scholars who have come this way to Television City in Hollywood to play our game. And let's go over now to Green. And Uriah, we found out last time out a little bit about your school. You want to reiterate, add anything?
Well, I mean, we have some great teachers. Mrs. Skipworth is a great teacher, and
that'll serve you some brownie points. What does she teach?
English language arts for seventh
English
graders.
language arts, wonderful.
And Mr. Seidel and Mr. Kessler and Mr. Bailey, Mrs. Gaffney and Mr. Armstrong.
So a good bunch of teachers to help you guys learn. And what do you want to be when you grow up?
Anything that pays good money.
That's a good answer. Very good answer. Welcome back, Green. All right, Kylie and Ironton, tell us about Ironton again.
We have some amazing teachers. Mr. McMaster is our history teacher. We have 7th and 8th graders. I remember the 7th grade teachers. They were all really nice.
Cool. Do you have like a good band, a good chorus, a good...
This one's in our high school marching band.
Oh, cool. I was in my high school marching band as a 8th grader. Started 8th grade because our junior high went 7, 8, 9, and 10, 11, 12 for high school in those days. Of course, everything was in black and white in those days. We didn't have color. It hadn't been invented yet. But I played the trombone in the man junior high and man high school band. Some of my fondest days, especially the band trips. All right, we're going into the bonus round. And we'll start with you, Green, where I will ask you, if you'll remember, a 15-point clue. And then you can move to the 10 or the 5 if you need to. All right, it's a spelling round. So for 15, spell the capital city that is home to the headquarters of 14 Fortune Global 500 companies, including Samsung, LG, and Hyundai. Looking to spell the capital city if you know it on that clue. If not, we can move on to the 10 or the 5.
Yes. Tokyo.
No? You can take the 15 points and move on to the bonus round. Kylie, if you know.
Do we spell it?
Yes.
Okay. Beijjang.
How about Seoul for Seoul? I would have said spell South Korea's capital city on the 5-pointer. That's all right, but I'll come back to you for a 15-point clue. This became the 8th state to ratify the U.S. Constitution May 23rd, 1788. That will eliminate a lot of states.
Pass.
All right. From east to west are 3 main geographic regions: the Atlantic Coastal Plain, the Piedmont, and the Blue Ridge Mountains.
South Carolina.
Is right for 10. All right. Would have asked you for Newberry College, the Citadel, and Clemson University, but you didn't need those. I'll have a 5, 10, 15-point round for you now. Centuries old. I will give you an event. You give me the century. It will be any year from the 16th to the 20th century, all right? For 5 points, Christopher Columbus died in poverty in Spain. What century?
16th.
Is right. 1506 to be exact. Spanish explorer Hernando de Soto reached the Mississippi River.
Isn't that also the 16th? 16th.
Is right. Now for 15 more, Louis Pasteur gave the first successful anti-rabies inoculation to a boy who had been bitten by an infected dog.
20th.
No, you can take the 15 points, Uriah, if you know.
18th.
The 19th. All right, another 15, 10, 5, and green, it's yours. This 4-letter word is often used to denote a variable in mathematics and physics, where it often has specific meanings for certain applications.
We don't know.
All right, it was familiar as a family of professional videotape formats. Launched in 1982, that was the de facto standard for professional video advertising and television production.
$5 please.
Name the second letter of the Greek alphabet.
Beta.
The old Betamax. I had one of those in the day. All right, your spelling bonus. We have a lot of spelling in this game. All right. Excoriate. Spell that word, meaning to censure scathingly. Excoriate. I do on occasion the Lawrence County, Ohio spelling bee. It's always fun to watch the young people spell words. Excoriate.
Our question correct. Our question correct.
Yeah, it's your question, right.
Excorriate.
And there you pick up 5 points. Now for 10, Viscount, a noble rank below an earl and above a baron. Its third letter is silent. Viscount. All right.
Viecount.
No? Kylie? Give you the 10 points if you know.
Viscount.
Yeah, the S is the silent one there. So you pick up another 10 for Viscount. All right, another 15, 10, 5, and this time it is for you, Ironton. In animal terms, the male is a Reynard, the female is a vixen, the young are kit, cub, pup, and a group is a skulk.
Fox.
Is right for 15. All right, now then, your bonus this time is not spelling. It's multiple choice food stuff. It's the base ingredient of gazpacho, a soup properly served cold. Is it beef, potatoes, tomatoes, or orange juice?
Potatoes.
No? 5 points if you know.
Tomatoes.
Tomatoes is right, so 5 for you. You got pepper, cucumber, bread, and garlic. I'd love to have some of that about now. All right, let's move on to the time for green and a 15-point clue. This sports star has left his job as a Fox Sports analyst to join another company in 2022 as vice chairman and the second-ranking team official to its majority owner for whom he worked in the past.
Drew Brees.
Not Drew Brees. How about it for 15?
Tom Brady.
It would be Jeff Gordon, 4-time Hall of Famer in his sport, nearly 50 years old, leaving the sport behind as a driver. And so there you go. All right, 15-point try for you now, Ironton. This city occupied a strategic position at the mouth of the Nile Delta, 12 miles south of Cairo on the west bank of the Nile.
Pass.
This city was also the place that marked the boundary between Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt, and during the Old Kingdom, it became the capital of ancient Egypt for more than 8 consecutive dynasties.
Pass.
With the arrival of the Romans, it, like Thebes, lost its place permanently in favor of Alexandria, which opened onto the empire. What city?
I don't know.
All right, do you know for 5?
Giza.
It's Memphis. Well, that will end the bonus round. We'll check those scores and be back with the 60-second round categories when HiQ returns.
We take pride in our schools. And at King's Daughters, we take pride in being part of the team. With student-athlete care from the sidelines to our comprehensive orthopedics program. With walk-in hours in Ashland and Portsmouth that make seeing a provider easier than ever. Our team is delivering faster diagnosis and treatment, getting our student-athletes back in the game and back to what they do best. Orthopedics at King's Daughters.
Stultz Pharmacy now has a new location in South Shore. Stultz Pharmacy is now located at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore and will retain the name you've known and loved for years, McDonald Pharmacy, offering the same great service you'll find in the Greenup and Wheelersburg locations, including free delivery service and drive-through service. And you can also get vaccinations and allergy shots at all 3 locations. Now you can get great prescription service and more at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup, Wheelersburg, and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive in South Shore.
Stultz Pharmacy.
Credit unions are small and can't compete with us big banks. Who are you calling?
I'm just trying to get through your bank's automated system to talk to a real person.
Well, 2 can play at this game. Oh, I think I have the wrong number.
At Members Choice, we are small enough that a real person will answer your call.
Well, we are a very large and very busy organization.
But large enough that you will be able to access your money through our technology and our global network of ATMs.
All right, this round called 60 Seconds could allow a team to get up to 120 points. We give them 4 categories, 10 questions, 10 points apiece. Get them all, we throw in a 20-point bonus. Categories are on the QT, medicine, letters, and historic places. And Green has the lower score at the moment, and they'll pick first. Which do you like of those?
Historic places, please.
Okay, historic places for you. And start the clock. 22 million immigrants passed through this New York harbor to freedom from 1892 to 1924.
Ellis Island.
This Philadelphia landmark is directly across the street from the Liberty Bell.
Independence Hall.
The 1863 Gettysburg Address is on the north wall of what great shrine?
Pass.
The state where you'll find the Edmund Pettus Bridge, a landmark of the Civil Rights Movement.
Virginia.
No. You'll find Devil's Tower National Monument and Fort Laramie National Historic Site in this western state.
Arizona.
No. Haymarket Affair, Massacre, and Riot was the aftermath of a bombing in 1886 at Haymarket Square in what city?
Boston.
No. Launch site of the world's first flight to the moon and base of America's space shuttle.
Cape Canaveral.
Right. Henry David Thoreau walked into the woods here in 1845, a reflection on simple living.
Pass.
And we get 3 for you on that one. Brings you to 55. All right, on historic places, Ironton and Kylie. We start with the 1863 Gettysburg Address is on the north wall of what great shrine?
Pass.
It's the Lincoln Memorial. The state where you'll find the Edmund Pettus Bridge, a landmark of the Civil Rights Movement.
Alabama.
Is right. You'll find Devil's Tower National Monument and Fort Laramie National Historic Site in this western state.
California.
It's Wyoming. Haymarket Affair, Massacre, and Riot was the aftermath of a bombing in 1886 at Haymarket Square in what city?
New York.
It's Chicago. And Henry David Thoreau walked into the woods here in 1845, a reflection on simple living.
Pass.
It was Walden Pond, or I would have taken Concord, Massachusetts. So you picked up none of theirs. No, you picked up 1. Now, which category remaining would you like?
Letters.
Letters. All right. Here we go. Start the clock. All your answers will have letters of the alphabet in them. It's comprised of Great Britain, Northern Ireland, Scotland, and Wales.
The UK.
3-letter informal term for a promissory note.
Pass.
Watson and Crick proposed their double helix model of what important genetic material?
DNA.
The life-saving act of cardiopulmonary resuscitation.
CPR.
From the Latin, a doctor's prescription notation to take medicine 4 times a day.
RX.
No, the tracing of brain waves.
Pass.
Mr. White, who wrote Charlotte's Web.
Pass.
The initials of the 36th president who followed the assassinated 35th president.
FDR.
No, 65 in Roman numerals.
Pass.
Founded in 1912, one of the oldest retail store chains with high-quality outdoor gear, named after its founder, Mr. Bean.
LL Bean.
LL is right, just as the buzzer sounds. Picked up 4 of those, bringing you to 120. Now you can make up some ground here, Green, on these letters, if you can pick up the ones they missed or passed on. 3-letter informal term for a promissory note.
Pass.
IOU. From the Latin, a doctor's prescription notation to take the medicine 4 times a day.
Pass.
QID. The tracing of brain waves.
Pass.
EEG. Mr. White, who wrote Charlotte's Web.
EB.
EB is right. The initials of the 36th president who followed the assassinated 35th president.
JFK.
No, LBJ was the one that followed JFK, you see. 65 in Roman numerals.
LXB.
Is right. So you got 2 of theirs. So that brings you to 75 to 120 for Ironton at the moment. And that wraps up the 60-second round category. Back with Stump the Experts, where the questions are a little more difficult. There were 20 points apiece when High Q returns.
We take pride in our schools. And at King's Daughters, we take pride in being part of the team. With student-athlete care from the sidelines to our comprehensive orthopedics program. With walk-in hours in Ashland and Portsmouth that make seeing a provider easier than ever. Our team is delivering faster diagnosis and treatment, getting our student-athletes back in the game and back to what they do best. Orthopedics at King's Daughters.
At Dutch Miller Auto, the time is now to get into the vehicle you want. Dutch Miller currently has the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles with an amazing inventory starting below $300 a month. Have a trade-in? There's never been a better time to get more than right now, as Dutch Miller is giving up to 30% above fair market value for any trade-in. Don't see the vehicle on our lot you want? Then ask about the Dutch Miller Advantage, which means you can order the vehicle you want, the way you want it, faster. Only at DutchMillerAuto.com.
Hot summer days call for a refreshing stop at Clark's Pub and Shop. Return, refresh, refuel.
And welcome back to High Q. We have a good game brewing here. 120 for Ironton, and Green has 75. So we're going to do Stump the Experts now, where the questions are worth 20 points apiece. And Ironton, we'll start with you. Categories: nations. In 1930, the cities of Constantinople and Angora were changed to Istanbul and Ankara. In which modern-day country would you find them?
Turkey.
No?
Iran.
No, it's Greece. But I have a nations question for you. In 1939, Italy invaded this country, annexing it less than a week later. In 1990, it ended 44 years of xenophobic communist rule and established a multi-party democracy. Name this country bordering the Adriatic and Ionian Seas, whose capital and largest city is Tirana.
Kazakhstan.
No? Ironton?
Russia.
It's Albania. Literature question now for you. Uriah and team, I'll give you a brief synopsis from one of Cliff's notes. Tell me the work and the author. The action begins on February 44 BC. The title character has just re-entered Rome in triumph after a victory in Spain over the sons of his old enemy, Pompey the Great. The work and the author.
We don't know.
All right, do you know? It's Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. Literature question for you. One spring day in Southwark at the Tabard Inn, the narrator awaited the next day when he would commence his journey. That evening, 29 persons arrived at the inn, all of whom were pilgrims. All right, do you know Green?
We don't know.
That's Chaucer's Canterbury Tales. Back to you for Who Am I? A noted silversmith in my native city. I designed tea sets, bowls, printing plates, and even false teeth.
Paul Revere.
Whoa, yes. I had plenty more to go, and you didn't need that. Here's you another 20. All right, now your question, Green. I rang doorbells for Barry Goldwater's presidential campaign in 1964. In November 2000, I became the First Lady elected to the U.S. Senate.
Debbie Johnson.
No? Ironton?
Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton is right. All right. Back to you, though, Green, for a life science question. What's the biological name for the complete change from newborn to adult stages of most insect development?
Metamorphosis.
That's it. Good for 20. Your life science question now, Kylie and team. Identify the insectivorous plants that are an example of the highly adaptive nature of plants. They grow in acid bogs.
Venus flytrap.
That's right. Another 20 for you. Fractions now are coming back to you, Ironton. A team played 30 games, of which it won 24. What part of the games played did it lose? And remember to reduce your answer to lowest terms.
1/6.
No? Green? Uriah?
6/10.
It's 1/5. But I have a fractions question for you. A piece of fabric is cut into 3 sections so that the first is 3 times as long as the second. The second section is 3 times as long as the third. What part of the entire piece is the smallest section?
One-fourth.
No? Kylie?
Third.
It's 1/13. All right, that ends a well-played game. We'll see who wins and moves on, perhaps. Or do we have to play another one when High Q returns?
We take pride in our schools. And at King's Daughters, we take pride in being part of the team. With student-athlete care from the sidelines to our comprehensive orthopedics program. With walk-in hours in Ashland and Portsmouth that make seeing a provider easier than ever. Our team is delivering faster diagnosis and treatment, getting our student-athletes back in the game and back to what they do best. Orthopedics at King's Daughters.
Stultz Pharmacy now has a new location in South Shore. Stultz Pharmacy is now located at 437 James Hanna Drive in South Shore and will retain the name you've known and loved for years, McDonald Pharmacy, offering the same great service you'll find in the Greenup and Wheelersburg locations, including free delivery service and drive-through service. And you can also get vaccinations and allergy shots at all 3 locations. Now you can get great prescription service and more at Stultz Pharmacy in Greenup, Wheelersburg, and McDonald Pharmacy, James Hanna Drive in South Shore.
Stultz Pharmacy.
Credit unions are small and can't compete with us big banks. Who are you calling?
I'm just trying to get through your bank's automated system to talk to a real person.
Well, 2 can play at this game. Oh, I think I have the wrong number.
At Members' Choice, we are small enough that a real person will answer your call.
Well, we are a very large and very busy organization.
But large enough that you will be able to access your money through our technology and our global network of ATMs.
All right, in the second game of our junior high middle school division, we find that Ironton defeats Green 180-95, which means we'll play a third game. Since Green won the first game, Ironton wins this game. Whoever wins the next game, next time we're together next week, will move on in our tournament. For all the production crew, MJ McKay, my announcer, Jeremy Sutherland, all the other stuff he does over there, and just everybody who's had a part in this. It's just an incredible little production, and we appreciate your watching. Spread the word that High Q is back, and we'll see you next time. Ernie G. Anderson reminding you to adopt a spayed or neutered pet for a lifetime of love. God bless you. We'll see you next time on High Q.